I got a challenge run for a Ryokan Jahari. I am Ryokan Jahari, but I would never order a whole challenge run for myself. Test Drive Le Mans is a spin-off title of the Test Drive franchise that's based on the 24 Hours of Le Mans, which is an endurance race in France that's been ongoing since 1923. Skipping the finer details, teams from all over the world compete to see who can travel the furthest distance within a 24-hour time frame. I can't even begin to imagine how much stamina you need to compete in this. Good thing they released a version for you to enjoy at home. Le Mans has a few different game modes, but the core game is more simulation-based. That means the gameplay is more realistic, and your car's performance can be affected by a bunch of things like weather conditions, the types of tires you use, your aerodynamics, and much more. While the main game is meant to be taken more seriously, there's a lot of cheat codes you can enter to play as some weird things. Well, mostly on the PlayStation 1 version. There's your typical run-of-the-mill bus, ice cream truck, and taxi cab, but what's also included in the mix are foods. By using these names in the enter name screen, you can play as a hot dog, pork pie, cheese, and a pizza slice. Then you'll be entered in a fast food race, but with a catch. There's only one track you can race on. Yeah, unfortunately, entering any of these codes will automatically lock you into this one race. Learning that was a bummer. I would have loved to have gone the distance in a 24-hour race against some of the best supercars of this era. Even so, I couldn't resist another opportunity to race as food on wheels. While the options were limited, I chose to go with the pizza. I'm fairly certain that all the foods perform at the same speeds, but they don't have the same dimensions and hitboxes. While thin, the pizza is so long and wide, it literally takes up almost half the track by itself, and that made it seem like it'd be the most annoying to control. So let's give it a try and see if you can beat Test Drive Le Mans' fast food race as the pizza. Before the race begins, there's a camera pan onto every food car will be put up against. Can't help but feel like the hot dog is missing mustard. And is the pizza stuffed crust? Oh yeah, I knew I made the right choice. Now with this game being simulation style, which is something I'm not very used to, I was thrown off a bit at the start. Holy sh**, this is so hard to control.
And he's off.
Is that good? Like I'm off like Eddie's racing. I exited the race afterward to see if I could practice a little, but there's no practice mode for foods. With no other choice, I went back and attempted to learn the ways of the ZA, and received plenty of lip from this game's commentator too.
And he's off.
Yeah, I know I'm off. I'm a f***ing pizza, for God's sake.
What is he doing?
Yeah, dude, disqualify that pork pie. Every time you mess up, this guy will have something to say about it. He also only has like 5 total phrases and will repeat them a lot. It was funny for a little bit, but got old fast. Thankfully, you can turn this off at any point. But getting back on track, I had a lot more to pick up on here than in most racing games I've experienced. The Le Mans fast food race was not as silly as it appeared. These foods are cooked to perfection and will leave you in the dust. I was reaching speeds of around 200 miles per hour, but hardly ever caught a glimpse of anything but the pork pie, and it's the meanest thing on the track. Ow! Dude, that pork pie was out of line. Literally. It was my arch nemesis throughout this race, and hardly ever left me alone. Pork pie!
What is he doing?
I'm telling you, dude, the pork pie just stops in the middle of the fucking road. Move. But not that bad. I think it gets it.
What is he doing?
I'm telling you, I don't know what he's doing. The pork pie just sits there. But I had bigger issues aside from my pork problems, handling and speed management. When it comes to this kind of professional racing, you have to play smart and know when to brake and or ease off the acceleration so that you can make turns without spinning out or flying off the road. The pizza being so long, wide, and having stiff handling made a sweet recipe for disaster. It's so easy to go off-road with it. Hitting a little off-road is okay, but going completely off the track will screw up your speed and handling. So you shouldn't do like I did, which was flooring it to try and get back into the race. That just won't work. While I was floundering about, trying to get this pizza across the finish line in 24 hours or less, the best position I managed to muster up was 5th. You only have 2 laps in the whole race to catch up to first and win, and each lap will roughly take about a minute to get through. Not all that bad sounding on paper, that's a pretty short race, but it also means that even slight mistakes will cost you everything. Only the best of the best can compete in the Le Mans fast food race, and it shows. All the cheeses, pork pies, and hot dogs are ruthless on the road. Stupid hot dog! The pizza gets this the worst due to its size and length. It's the longest and widest thing on the track, and a prime target for nasty shunts. Nah, 5th isn't. Oh my god! Ref! Where's the referee? Getting around the other foods was probably the hardest thing about this race. As you've seen, they'll deliberately get in your way to slow you down, and almost any hit you give them will end in disaster. Dude, that pizza pie! I never would have thought that this single 2-lap race would have caused me so much trouble. Yet, here we are. After a solid hour of playing this race over and over again, I saw slight improvements, but rarely ever found myself in a spot better than 5th. It's really that hard. I preach a lot about the need for perfection in the runs I do, to the point where I feel like a broken record, but this race demands it. And at the same time, you also have to play a little dirty like everyone else. Cutting the others off and running them off the track are helpful, though you have to be cautious when attempting these. They don't always work as intended. Another hour having gone by, and I found myself in the best position I'd been in so far, 4th place, with 2nd and 3rd close by. I quickly blew past the pork pie, but didn't mind my speed in the turns that followed after. In this moment though, I caught a short glimpse of 1st, and a few runs after this, I'd pass into 2nd place and found myself in a nail-biter final stretch against the hot dog. Okay. No way! No way! How did he pass me? Well, I didn't catch this at the time, but I slowed down at this turn just enough to where I shifted down into the 5th gear. If I had stayed in 6th the whole way through, that hot dog never would have passed me. I'd have another shot at this one more time, but failed at this turn right behind the cheese. I didn't know it at the time, but this small turn would be the next culprit in thwarting all my runs. Almost any time I found myself in a 2nd place situation around this area, I'd mess up this turn and throw the run like a total bozo. But it wasn't until after these failures that I found that even if I did make the turn properly, it still may not be enough to cross that finish line as the winner. I did slow down a little bit by going in the grass, but unlike before, I remained in the 6th gear and cleared the rest of the turn. So what the heck gives? Well, maybe that whole turn cost me a little more speed than I realized. And I suppose on top of that, I just didn't play well enough this time. Crazy to think, because I came out of the first lap with a time of 49 seconds and took 3rd place shortly thereafter. Actually, not too long after this run, I'd have another situation where I finished the first lap in roughly around the same time while in 3rd place, and right as I entered the final lap, 2nd and 1st place were right there in plain sight. Maybe the food randomly decides when it wants to be faster than you. I have no idea. This is such a weird one, and far more difficult and frustrating than I ever thought it'd be. You can only say so much about this one small track, so if there's any fun highlights I missed, I'll show you here. No! Don't say Ray, ... Don't chat Ray, ... He ran me off the road! Where's the constable? Where's the referee? I got hit! Constable! I just want to be a pizza guy, man. I just want to be a little pizza boy. Is that so wrong? After 4 hours of grinding this out, I'd pass 2nd place on the first lap with an exit of 48.90. Weird, because it was hardly a second off of my usual time, but good enough to be right behind the elusive 1st place cheese. Since there's only 1 lap left to go, I'll just let this play out so you can see what happens. Come on. Come on. Nice, finally! Against all odds, cheeses, hot dogs, and pork pies, the pizza finally came out on top and finished in 1st in the Le Mans fast food race. Thank you all so much for watching. I know this challenge was a lot shorter and a bit more out of the ordinary than usual, but I hope you still enjoyed it anyway. At first, I was totally hyped to play as a slice of pizza and rip through these races silly style, kinda like Top Gear Overdrive. While I was disappointed that I couldn't do that, I was impressed and humbled by this one, now less than 2-minute race that had me jumping through hoops for a chance to win. It's actually been a while since I played this game, and I had been sitting on this footage for a rainy day, but while recently recording B-roll, I had a fresh chance to play as the other foods. From what I personally experienced, they all had the same speed and handled better than the pizza. Only the pork pie seemed like it'd have difficulty on the track like the pizza because it's so tall, though you can change the camera angle to adjust as you need to. I am not well versed in the art of sports racing, so I'm positive that there are likely things I could have done to make this playthrough have not lasted for so long. wrong. But even so, I believe that the CPUs just randomly cheat and can turn up the heat whenever they want. Whether or not these types of racing games are your thing, I think this little playthrough is well worth your time. And if you're not into playing with your food, there's other codes you can enter to play as more oddball cars. Doing this will also set you on a brand new track. Either way you go, you'll have a lot of fun. Also, as a late side note, I had no idea that the 2026 Le Mans race is taking place mere days after this video comes out. I didn't plan on that at all, but what a crazy coincidence. Be sure to hit the like button if you enjoyed this video. Also, I stream all of my challenge runs live on my Twitch channel and here on YouTube. If you'd like to check that out, be sure to subscribe or follow me on Twitch. The link to my Twitch channel, along with links to my other social media accounts, can be found in the description. If there's a challenge run you'd like to see, you can also check out the description for a direct link where you can submit your ideas. Thanks again for watching, everyone. See you in the next video. Krusty Krab pizza is the pizza, yeah, free win.
Lap 1.